The big story, the Giants upsetting the Eagles, 3 touchdowns for Skattebo. And I go back to the draft. Now, if you follow the show, you know that I was high on Jaxson Dart. My source said that he had a first round grade on him. I got to see him probably play 3 or 4 full games at Ole Miss, and I liked what I saw. He had mobility, and you're playing for Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin is a offensive-minded head coach. He certainly has a lot of swagger at that position. Transfer in from USC. And then Skattebo, who we got to see kind of late in his career, and you got to see something that we thought was really special, different, interesting, but I didn't know if he was going to be maybe too slow or too limited to play at this level. I do know if the ball's on the 1 or 2 yard line, I know who's getting it. But with Jalen Carter not in there last night, they ran right up the middle, and Skattebo had 3 touchdowns. By the way, the last Giant to have 3 touchdowns in a game, Saquon Barkley. That was also in his rookie season. But surprise, surprise. And, you know, you're seeing something, and granted, it's the embryonic stages here with the Giants, but we talked about this. They were going to stay with Russell, and they were going to stay with him for maybe a month, and then you were going to ease into Jaxson Dart. Because if you ease into Jaxson Dart, now if you have success, if ownership looks at this and says, maybe we have something here, let's not make a change at the head coaching position or the GM. And that might be what happened or happens. I know that when we looked at Russ, I thought maybe they were going to play Russ longer than they should, but maybe they thought, we got to win games. Because if we don't win games with this schedule, we won't make it to the second half of the season. Now you have something interesting there. And maybe Jaxson Dart will save Brian Daboll's career. Also Joe Shane, the GM. And maybe they were reaches. You know, maybe it was a reach in the first round for Jaxson Dart. Maybe Skattebo, a 4th-round draft pick. You weren't quite sure. But you have hope, and they don't have any weapons on offense. I mean, I'm looking at the wide receivers, and I go, huh? Who? But they somehow made something happen last night. And the only thing that I would say is, Jaxson Dart, I love your mobility, but I want you to continue to have mobility. Slide. Don't take on DBs. Nobody cares. You don't have to be a tough guy. Slide. Because all it takes is you got nicked up, and they put him in the concussion tent, but that's where Brian Daboll, the head coach, is right outside. It's almost like, come on, let's go. You're good. Come on, here we go. And all of a sudden, Jaxson Dart comes back out, and it's like, okay, I guess he passed concussion protocol. But his head coach, Brian Daboll, talked about Jaxson Dart's performance.
Good team win. That's a division team on the road, or at home, should I say. Home crowd was awesome, but we got to give them a reason to be awesome too. So another good game by a rookie quarterback, but another good game from everybody around him, and that's what we needed. You know, it's not about one guy, it's about a team. 2 turnovers on defense, very good 3rd down execution on offense, ran the ball well, finished the game. It's good to have a young leader like Dart.
Okay. Maybe a little more emotion, a little more enthusiasm there, Brian. You might have saved your job. Seton, what's poll question for the first hour of the program?
Worst night, Phillies, Eagles.
Well, Phillies because the season's over.
Yeah, but the Eagles got cooked by a horrible Giants team. Rival?
Yeah.
That's terrible.
The Eagles don't have to reinvent themselves. They have to rediscover themselves. And I think they've kind of lost who they are. What's their identity? You're throwing the ball an awful lot. You went away from Saquon Barkley in the second half of the game. And I give the Giants credit. They played, and like this game really meant something to them. Playing at home, Jaxson Dart played well. The defense played well. But I would say the Phillies because the season is over. The Eagles, we got a long way to go. Yes, Eaton.
Saquon opened the game just ripping off 2 monster runs. And it's like, okay, here we go. This is going to be the game plan for do this, you know, lather, rinse, repeat for the rest of the night, and you're walking away with an easy dub here.
And, you know, the Giants situation, that momentum at home, And I wondered, are they going to have that home field advantage, being a 7-point underdog? And it felt like that. Although I felt bad for Russell Wilson. He came in for one play and the fans booed. Come on. I'd say you're better than that, but I don't know if you are. I mean, Russ is not going in there to try to fail. The ball was tipped that he threw, and then, you boo him.
What are you booing him for? What the heck?
I don't know. But you have something with Jaxson Dart. He at least keeps them interesting, keeps them relevant, that he is a watchable performer. And Skattebo is not afraid of anybody. I don't know if he's going to be a good running back, but boy, he runs like you just said something about his family. He's going after. He runs angry. It's like somebody's going to hurt. This is going to hurt me, but it's going to hurt you more. And that's when I watch him. There's a combination of Marshawn Lynch and Larry Zonka when I watch him. I'm taking on contact, and this is going to hurt you more than it's going to hurt me. Yeah, Paul.
I'm looking at Skattebo's draft profile, 5'9.5", 220 pounds. And the only criticisms were breakaway speed, cutting ability, the basics. But they include that he runs like a maniac. He actually says maniac.
Giants do kind of... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Giants do kind of have something with that tandem, though. They both have, for what is essentially like a swagless team, those two fellas have a little bit of it where it's like, man, we might be able to build around this.
Yeah, Paul.
Seton is referencing the hope meter, which we unveiled at this time last year. And right now the New York Giants are high on the hope meter, not high on the chance to make the playoffs meter. There's two different things.
Hopeometer.
The hopeometer.
The hopeometer.
Or the hopometer, whichever.
The hopometer, the hope meter, the hopeometer, is depending where you're from.